Good evening, everyone. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Here is a look at some of today's top stories. San Francisco's mayor was among the tourists in Hawaii when the wildfire broke out. She has since been safely evacuated. We'll take a look at some unusual robberies caught on camera. A forklift and a dog helped the thieves during their heist. To combat theft, a Target store in the Central Valley is now requiring chaperones for underage shoppers. The San Francisco mayor evacuates from Maui. She was on the Hawaiian island when the wildfire started. She's now safe, but not back in California yet.
San Francisco Mayor London Breed has been evacuated from Maui to escape the deadly fires. In an email to NTD, the mayor's office confirmed that Breed was in Maui for a personal trip when the wildfire started. She was never in danger and is now in Oahu. According to the office, the wildfire is devastating to witness, and our thoughts are with the people of Maui. Fueled by the dry summer and strong winds from a passing hurricane, the fire started Tuesday and raced through parched growth and neighborhoods in the historic town of Lahaina. The tourist destination dates to the 1700s and is the biggest community on the island's west side. The wildfire has already killed 36 people, making it among the deadliest in the U.S. in recent years. The last deadly wildfire was the 2018 Camp Fire in California, which killed at least 85 people and laid waste to the town of Paradise. The Hawaii death toll could rise, though, as rescuers reach parts of the island that had been unreachable due to ongoing fires or obstructions. Officials said earlier Wednesday that 271 structures have been damaged or destroyed and that dozens of people have been injured. Power was out in parts of Maui. Cellular service was also down, making it difficult for many to check in with friends and family members. Some were posting messages on social media.
In a tweet earlier this afternoon, Governor Gavin Newsom said California will be sending search and rescue teams to assisting Hawaii's recovery efforts. At least 36 fatalities in the Maui and Big Island fires. Thousands have fled the unprecedented disaster. I spoke with a fire service veteran of 35 years who is sounding a warning for Southern California and gives us some insights into the challenges the firefighters face there. So Chief Sam DiGiovanna, thanks for joining us. This devastating wildfire in Maui caught everyone by surprise, something very uncommon for the tropical islands of Hawaii. Now, you're from California. How do wildfires differ in the two states?
Well, I'll give you an example, what a Santa Ana wind does. And they experienced kind of a high-pressure system that created a little Santa Ana wind over them. Get in the shower and take a shower and come out and your hair's wet. Put a hair dryer on it. In about 3 to 5 minutes, it'll be bone brittle dry. And that's what happens over there. That Santa Ana wind is actually like a hair dryer on that island, and it dries the fuel moisture out within 24 to 48 hours. So it became, the fuel moisture content became very dry, just like we have those conditions. This was a fuel and wind driven fire over in Maui. We have fuel and wind driven in California, but we also have another component called topography. So we have a lot more hills, and we know that fire burns 16 times faster uphill than on a flat surface. So they experienced pretty much like a Santa Ana wind that we get, or Northern California gets Diablo winds. They're warm, dry winds every year in the fall, and that's where we see these fires, and they experience something that they normally don't get, but they just, rare occasion that this happened.
So what should people do to escape this kind of fire if they find themselves in a similar situation?
Well, follow whatever. Of course, power outages are out, but you have to listen in your portable radios and listen to what the fire officials and emergency services directors are asking you to do, where to evacuate and where to go. It's a little difficult when you don't have the communications. All the communications are out right now due to the fire and the wind, so it's hard to communicate. Most people have to listen to their radio, cell phones, get information. Alerts are being posted off of that, and then ham radio operators. So that's the big thing.
They seem to have the worst case scenario there in Maui, high wind plus power outage. What other challenges are firefighters up against?
The big issue, David, is the fact that it's an island. Unlike, say, California or the mainland, we have plenty of resources to draw from. There's only so many resources over on the island, so it's very hard just to call mutual aid for fire trucks. You have to load those up in boats or by aircraft and fly them in. That's very time consuming, and this fire is moving at a very rapid rate of spread. Also, the roads over there are inaccessible, and they're very narrow, small roads into little villages. So we've got a lot of things that are going against us as far as this is concerned.
All right, Chief Sam DiGiovanna, thank you very much for sharing your insights. More robberies are getting caught on video. Some are getting more creative and daring. Let's see what California thieves have been doing.
In Sacramento, footage shows two thieves using a forklift to steal an ATM machine in an attempted robbery last Wednesday. One suspect wearing construction gear is seen knocking down the machinery from a safe credit union on Watt Avenue in North Sacramento, while the other one is waiting in a white pickup truck nearby. The machinery is loaded in the vehicle, and the second suspect drives away with it, but it later drops it on a busy road in Sacramento, causing both a traffic jam and an early morning collision. Both suspects fled the scene and have yet to be identified or located. In San Diego, a bike thief had a double stroke of luck when he found an open garage full of bikes, as well as a very affectionate guard dog who just wanted to play. The San Diego Police Department released the surveillance footage from the garage on August 3rd. The thief walked away with the bike and then rolled it back into the open garage to take a moment to interact with the friendly golden retriever who had wandered out from the main house. The video shows the dog playing with the thief and rolling over for belly rubs.
You're the coolest dog I've ever known. I love you too. Here.
The thief then casually strolls away with the bike as the dog looks on, before appearing to follow his late-night playmate out of the garage.
A quiet, peaceful town rocked by unexpected violent crime at one of their local businesses. About 35 miles east of downtown Los Angeles, Laverne is known for safe streets, fine schools, and a thriving economy. NTD's Stephanie Secal tells us more.
A recent daylight robbery at Rodeo Jewelers in the city of Laverne prompts a $20,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of robbers who crashed their car into the front doors, leaving the store behind me boarded up but still in business. Detective David Weaver from the Laverne Police Department talks us through what that crime scene looked like. And how much did the robbers get away with?
So on July 1st, just after 12 p.m., a vehicle crashes through the storefront glass doors of the jewelry store. Four suspects enter the jewelry store and start using hammers to smash the glass and obtain property, putting them into trash can bin receptacles. They end up leaving after the jewelry store owners put up a fight. They get into an awaiting vehicle and then flee the area. The total loss is valued to be approximately $300,000.
Their advice on what to do if you ever find yourself in the middle of a robbery.
We advise them not to engage. Definitely do not confront anyone and don't try to fight back. Do your best just to cooperate and do your best to maybe just be a good witness for the future when the police do respond to take a report.
We also spoke to a Rodeo Jewelers customer and asked him what his thoughts are on jewelry stores being robbed so frequently lately.
Probably just due to the economy and just due to previous voting throughout the years. That's really a slap on the wrist to criminals. They could come in here and steal several $1,000s of items and be out next week.
Losa told us what he would do if he saw a robbery in progress.
If I was out of harm's way, etc., and not in a way of a bullet, like I said, I'm not taking a bullet when these guys won't even do any jail time.
Detective Gutierrez has a message for people in the community who want to help solve this crime.
We'd like to add and really encourage anyone with information about this case to contact Laverne Detectives at detectives, that's detectives with an S, at lvpd.org, or call 909-457-6541. Again, crimes of this nature are not common in this city, and we pride ourselves in maintaining the safest environment possible for our community members and our businesses. Detectives are currently working all avenues of this investigation, and it's ongoing at this time.
The city of Laverne takes great pride in their business community, and authorities reassures that they'll do all they can to find those responsible for this crime and make arrests. Stephanie Sikal, NTD News, Laverne.
One Target store implements a chaperone policy for those underage. You would need a chaperone to enter in the store in Central Valley. Employees say the new policy was created to combat recent theft and loitering.
A Target in Bakersfield is now requiring adult chaperones to accompany teens in the store after 4 p.m. That's according to a recent report by Fox News. Although the security guards are not allowed to ask to check IDs, they can enforce the policy on any individuals who look underage. A Target employee told local TV news stations that the policy was created to combat recent theft, fights, and teen loitering. Some parents complained that it was unfair for the corporation to target teenagers based on their age. Avalina Kaywood told Fox News that employees prevented her 16-year-old daughter from entering the store. Her daughter told news outlets, quote, "It's not like I was making trouble. Why don't they kick out the teens that do make trouble?" But others went on social media to voice their support for the policy. One person wrote, "Until people learn how to teach kids to be young adults, you'll pay the price." According to a lawyer, the store can legally profile customers based on age to prevent the risk of thefts.
We'll now take a short break, everyone, but here's what we have for you when we come right back. The Hollywood writers' strike passes the 100-day mark. Contract talks remain unsuccessful. High temperatures continue to roast the Central Valley, so a judge temporarily bans Sacramento from clearing homeless camps. A ballet dancer-turned-doctor brings music and joy to children in need. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today, everybody. I'm your host, David Zhang. The Hollywood writers' strike has reached 100 days. There has been no resolution in contract talks, and those on the picket lines continue to protest as they see as a disregard for their demands. NTD's Cause Jimenez has more.
The strike began on May 2nd after negotiations between the Writers Guild of America and the major studios gridlocked. At the core of the writers' demands are pay, minimum staffing of writers' rooms, residual payments in the streaming era, as well as regulation on the use of AI. AI in particular is seen as a potential threat that could compromise the industry and cost jobs.
We chose a hard job because we're resilient and because we love it. And so they can try to starve us out all day, but it's not going to happen. But it's not fun. I'm not saying, like, yes, we have music to buoy our spirits, and the camaraderie makes it a lot more fun, but it's hard to be out of work when you love doing it, and it's hard not to have a paycheck. But it's ultimately for the ultimate health of the business and our industry, so what else are you going to do?
The WGA met with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers for talks last week, but yielded no results. The Writers Guild afterwards stated that it remains willing to engage with the companies and resume negotiations. Actors represented by the Screen Actors Guild joined the writers' strike on July 14th, marking the first time both unions have gone on strike since 1960. Cause Jimenez, NTD News.
Due to excessive heat, a judge temporarily bans the capital city from clearing homeless encampments. Homeless advocates argue that clearing them will put the homeless in danger.
A federal judge has temporarily banned Sacramento from clearing homeless encampments for at least 14 days, citing the extreme heat forecast this month. Judge Troy Nunley in the U.S. District Court for Eastern California issued the order last week after homeless advocates argued that the city disregarded its own protocol by pushing a vulnerable population out of shaded areas during blistering heat. Advocates said clearing the camps in such weather puts homeless people in obvious danger. According to the complaint, Sacramento defines temperatures above 90 degrees as being excessive heat in its protocols. The temperature at the state capitol is forecast to hit 90 degrees Fahrenheit or more on 21 days in August, including 9 days where the temperature is expected to reach 95. The complaint includes details about a so-called sweep in mid-July when the temperature was 91 degrees. Officials moved about 30 people who had been sheltering under large trees. Advocates say while Sacramento had offered homeless people to relocate to another encampment, the site was already crowded and had no shade. It's not the first time Nunley banned Sacramento from clearing homeless encampments. Last year, he ordered similar temporary restraining orders when temperatures scorched for nearly 2 months. Unsheltered homeless people are particularly vulnerable during hot weather because of the constant exposure to the heat and sun.
Extreme summer temperatures are still forecasted for Californians this month. Amid National Health Center Week, a family doctor spreads awareness on dangers of heat exhaustion and how to stay cool during heat waves. NTD's David Lam reports.
Many parts of California are expecting extreme heat this month.
We are expecting a lot of extreme temperatures in California in the upcoming weeks, and it is important to prevent heat stroke or heat-related illnesses.
Temperatures at California's state capitol expected to hit at least 90 degrees Fahrenheit for 21 days, labeled as excessive heat. This resulted in a judge temporarily banning Sacramento from clearing homeless encampments for at least 14 days. One vital thing is staying hydrated. Dr. Kimberly Chang says our bodies lose water very quickly to stay cool, such as through sweating to release heat.
So you have to drink a lot of water and fluids throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. And I would say we would want you to avoid alcohol, avoid caffeine, things like black teas or coffee. The reason is it makes you urinate more, and that dehydrates you further.
She recommends taking beverages that have some sugar and some electrolytes, such as salt, potassium, and chloride. Some of the heat symptoms can include fevers, lots of muscle cramps, pain, and feeling extremely hot. People may also face confusion, loss of consciousness, and dizziness.
When you think about vulnerability, think about people who can't really regulate their body temperatures well. And so you think about babies, young people, children, and then you also think about elderly folks.
Wearing breathable fabrics and limiting time outdoors would be other ways to prevent heat dangers. In Santa Clara, California, David Lam, NTD News.
The State Department reminds the public to never leave children and even pets in parked vehicles during hot days. Ski season finally comes to an end after 9 months. The past winter's heavy storms brought record snow to Mammoth Mountain Ski Resort, making this season the second longest in the resort's history.
Lifts at Mammoth Mountain in the Sierra Nevada mountain range stopped spinning on August 6th. This year's ski season lasted 275 days, the second longest in the resort's 70-year history. The area also recorded nearly 900 inches of record-breaking snowfall. Tim Leroy, a spokesperson for Mammoth Mountain, told NPR, quote, "This year on July 4th, almost the entire upper mountain was open. It was basically full go. That's very unusual." According to the resort's Instagram posts, the mountain planned to open on November 11th, 2022, but early snowstorms allowed the mountain to open almost a week early on November 5th. And a parade of atmospheric rivers throughout the winter brought continuous snowfall to the area. The resort said 220 inches, or over 18 feet, fell in January, making it the mountain's second snowiest on record. Leroy said Mammoth originally planned on closing sometime at the end of July, but lingering snow allowed the resort to extend its ski season. While mountain operations wrapped up on Sunday, the resort already announced plans for reopening later this year on November 11th.
UC schools admits a record number of California applicants. Latino students lead the pack. then followed by Asian American students.
The University of California announced on August 8th that it has admitted a record number of California freshmen. Latino students led the pack with 37.6% admitted to UC colleges. And the rest of the freshman class was made up of 34.2 Asian American students, 19% white students, 5.5 are black students, and about 1% are American Indians. In total, the number of first-year students admitted from underrepresented groups increased by about 1,400 students, or 4%, compared to 2022 data. According to the UC Office of the President, these numbers demonstrate a continued interest undergrad students have in attending a UC campus. UC President Michael Drake said, quote, "The university's latest admissions data reflects our commitment to expanding opportunities and ensuring that students of all backgrounds have a chance to attend one of our excellent undergraduate campuses." Drake hopes to increase California student enrollment by more than 20,000 by 2030.
A dancer-turned-doctor brings music to children in need. She hopes to heal and bring joy to kids who may not have many chances to be exposed to the arts. Here's NTD's Sean Morgan with more.
A ballet dancer turned dermatologist is bringing art performances to pediatric hospitals.
I have had the privilege of joining the Starting Arts, which is a local nonprofit, their board of directors, and they have historically worked to bring arts, particularly performing arts, but also some visual arts into the school system.
I've been staring
at Wednesday's inaugural event, 3 alumni of the Starting Arts Dream Team Conservatory program performed songs for the children.
Today we're just giving back to the community and we're bringing arts to kids who are at this hospital and just trying to bring joy to their lives. And I really think that music and community go hand in hand, and so being able to bring together a stronger community through music.
But we also know that music helps stimulate the brain. So whether it's, dancing with music or singing, you're getting all of these different, you're lighting up all of these different areas, and you're working to kind of build those nerves and explore that more officially.
Dr. Hazier says her dad had polio growing up, causing him to miss out on a lot of his childhood, which is what ultimately inspired her to organize this event.
He passed away very suddenly, and so I took a moment, this was actually about 2 years ago, I took a moment and really wanted to think and reflect on how to honor his memory in a way that would not only be special for me, but also meaningful for other people. How could we bring something that I do every day, that healthcare aspect, how could we bridge that and fuse it with the arts? And then this kind of brainchild and project started, and hopefully we'll continue that at regular intervals for these kids.
In Campbell, California, Sean Morgan, NTD News.
All right, everyone, that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You will find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ganjin World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. If you'd like to share a news tip or let us know how we're doing, we'd love to hear from you. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.